Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing DMC3 on Dante Must Die difficulty. This is mission 14. It's called Drive. So, this is going to be a hard video to narrate because the encounters are, well, the first one at least is like 7 minutes long and it's very boring. It's versus the Fallen, and they're problematic enemies that deal very hard damage, and I'll probably have to talk about other things besides the actual fight, because once I talk about the main tenets of the fight, that's all there really is going to be. But they fight in pairs. The first one that you kill will cause the other one to double trigger, and then the one that you've killed will be replaced by a new spawner. So there's 3 total here, and I prefer to stand on these stairs here, wait for them to come, and then continue. All I do is just a 3-hit combo with the Rebellion. You have to hit their exposed bellies. Other than that, when they shield themselves, you have to break their poise, or not poise, but you have to break their guard. And then, how do you describe this enemy? It's really difficult. Like, it's an enemy that goes through the walls. It's an enemy that has a range that really doesn't seem too fair, especially when you go out of your way to avoid it. It still stabs you from across the room. They also throw down their sword and cause it to explode, and if you're in the radius of that, it'll take off half your life at least. So they're an airborne enemy, so it's possible to hit them without jumping, even if you're not on these steps up here. Because when you think about it, the distance from where they're hovering from the ground is the same up here. But I just feel that this place is pretty good. If you want to use holy water, that's your own deal. However, you have to wait until their bellies are exposed. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything because they'll be shielded. A really rotten enemy. Other than that, E3 is coming up on Monday. I'm looking forward to both press conferences. I usually don't watch the Microsoft conference because it's so early. I like to sleep and maybe catch it later. But I'll probably wake up for it. It's so important of an event, and I think Microsoft is going to have better announcements this year for some reason. I don't know why, but what I'm really looking forward to, and it's not going to happen, is for a God of War confirmation or some kind of a something, because I mean, yeah, Ascension just did come out. It came out a year ago, didn't it? It'll be a year. No, it's been a year ago. It's been about a year and a few months. But I'm also looking forward to Uncharted 4, but that game probably won't come out until 2016, which, if it comes out in the fall of 2016, that will be 4 years that we've been waiting for Uncharted 4. I personally don't understand that. Like, the normal development cycle is 2 to 3 years, and 3 years is obviously better, but the time between Uncharted 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 was always 2 years. So I really don't understand why we have to wait double the amount of time for a game that, it will be fantastic probably, but like, so was Uncharted 2, and they only had 2 years to work with that I know. I mean, I'm talking about how long we had to wait. So I'm not really like The Last of Us 2. That's good if they want to make that, but I'm not holding my breath for that, or not. I'd rather play Uncharted 4. I don't want to play The Last of Us 2. I've been waiting for Uncharted for a long time. It's a fantastic game. But primarily what I want is, when they release these games, I want a game like this, something that's in the third person, that's action based. The Order looks good, I'm looking forward to that, but they pushed that to 2016, you know. And also Quantum Break looks good too, but it's too long to wait. So I'm getting nothing for my money. I purchased a PS4, and as I said, it's been sitting in my closet. I've used it a little bit, but not much at all, because there's no selection to choose from as far as like really good games. And it's, I don't know, but this fight goes on for a long time. And after this project, I don't know what I could possibly play that is in my scope of what I play. I mean, what is there? I mean, not too much. So there might be a drought on this channel. That's what I wanted to say. Like a period of nothing, because this is the last game that personally I know of that I enjoy. You know, I have bashed on it quite a bit in the course of this guide, but I do enjoy it overall. I don't enjoy certain aspects of it, but okay, so that fight is finally done with. Sorry about that, it took forever. Now we'll be in the Temperance wagon again, and we'll be killing 1 sloth and 2 lusts, and then a devil triggered hell vanguard plus 2 gluttons. So what you want to do here is avoid taking damage as much as possible. Use the rocket launcher to knock them on their feet. The last guy will double trigger. And it's important here to know that it's unwise to use the double trigger transformation immediately when you are dealing with the Vanguard, because what you want to do, preferably, is to get the 2 gluttons out of the way. So once they're near the Hell Vanguard, and when you're hitting her, release that so that you can deal massive damage to her, and then also kill the 2 gluttons, because they're going to jump onto this little car after a bit. And then remember that when your weapons clang together, that means jump, to jump through her attack with your iframes. And even if you have to sacrifice your transformation to kill the gluttons, it's a good idea, because just avoiding her attacks is hard enough on this moving platform. And this venue I don't respect whatsoever. It's not acceptable to fight a boss like this here, one that you have to jump out of the way from, and there's no knowing where she's going to come from. It's all luck. See, like, you can't like not get hit here. I mean, I don't know how you can't just disappear, except with the Trickster you press forward and the style button and you can vanish momentarily, but it's only very briefly that you're out of that you've disappeared. So she's just got a lot of HP. If you have to, just use an item. I mean, that's what I did here. It's the last time I had to use an item on this stage, surprisingly, because the next fight is really difficult versus the chess pieces. But she's just got a lot of HP, just so much HP. That's where I had to use the item, because it just got to that point where I was doing this 5 times. And there she is, deceased. We'll go to the next part, at the area where we were when we fought Beowulf. These cutscenes I just left in because I did all this without dying. And then we're going to be introduced to the Rook. I will say this about this game. These pieces are very interesting, the way that even with the kings, when we face the kings on the chessboard, all the rules of the chess game applies. I'm not a chess person, I don't play it. I'm not very good at it, actually, but I was reading up on it, and the kings can actually castle, which means that they can trade places with a rook at any given time. So the king is actually the one that's going to win you the fight in chapter 18. Once he's out, then all the pieces are yours to collect because you've won the game. So I think that's very interesting. One of the most interesting things I've played in a game, I think, ever. You know, the most creative thing. I mean, it is chess. They're drawing off chess, but they're doing it in a fantastic and creative way, where everyone has an attack, everyone has different patterns, and it's very skill dependent on what your performance is. So this room here is just 2 waves of 4 knights, or pawns, excuse me. Their only attack, as you saw right there, is just that little vertical slash. They're an easy enemy. And then when you come over here, what you want to do is, I edited this part out where I was just standing here, but I built up my devil trigger almost all the way to release it on these guys, because we have 2 knights here and 1 rook. The knights do a stomp, like a single stomp, and they also do like a multi-hit stomp from time to time. I don't think it's devil trigger dependent, but what you want to do is clear the knights because they have less HP, and then what the rook does is he just has a laser beam attack that if you're in the right quadrant, you can avoid it. But personally, I don't take that kind of a chance, so I just double jump in the air. What I'm doing here is taunting, because this guy doesn't have any other attacks than that. I mean, even if he shifts, he's not going to hit you. So it's just avoiding that laser beam and cutting through all his HP. And this whole time I'm taunting to build up my devil trigger, because what you want to do is bring a full devil trigger into each of these 4 fights. Especially, you know, if you do that, then you can dispose of like the bishops right away, because when the fight starts, they're not going to be devil triggered, and then you could potentially kill them. I'm not sure if a full devil trigger transformation kills a bishop that's not devil triggered. I think it might be possible, and we'll see up ahead if it is in fact. So now the only upside to doing the real impact on that guy is that it's a strong attack, and it does deal a lot of damage. But once the uppercut, once the uppercut is over his head level, then you're not attacking him anymore. You can't lift him up even if he's not double triggered. So this room here has a bishop, I believe, 2 bishops and a knight. No, the other way around. 1 bishop. You want to kill the bishop. It also depends on your proximity to the enemy you're targeting. So you want to take care of the bishop first, because he's got his fire attack could almost light up this whole floor. So you see how important it is to just immediately double trigger and take away as much enemy damage off as possible here. With these knights, see the multi-hit? Where is it? It's over here somewhere. He caught me off guard because I wasn't aware that they stomped so many times. So it looks like it's a random attack that they can do. See, that right here, that was damage that I was due because I couldn't cancel out of it, but that is not the game's fault. That's my fault for doing that move. There's the multi-hit stomp. That's my fault for doing a combo that I didn't think I could cancel out of. And I'm fully, you know, like when I say that this game isn't fair in parts, that's because I truly think so. But you saw right there a minute ago how readily I admitted to that being my fault. Okay, so one more fight. Charge your double trigger all the way. And I don't think this room is too difficult, but with no checkpoint, it can be unnerving a little bit. Okay, what do we have here? We have a bishop. This is a pretty tough room. So you see the importance of double triggering. So one of the bishops is dead. Then this one's almost dead. Use the rocket launcher too. It demolishes these guys. And then with just the rook left, it's really easy to clean them up. I wouldn't do the real impact. It just takes too long and it doesn't do enough. But who knows? I mean, it does start up as a really powerful punch. Then that will be pretty much at the end of the video. There's going to be some enigmas we'll be fleeing from. You could fight them if you want to. The checkpoint, they put you right out here, so it's very nice. And then once you get out of this door, you want to take an immediate right. We've been in this situation before with these guys. So in a lot of these videos too coming up, we're going to be traversing the same environment and we're going to be going in different directions. And when I first played this game, even the first couple of times when I played this game, I had no clue where I was going. Like, this is obvious here. Obviously, this portal was here earlier, but it wasn't lit up, so it's obvious that we're supposed to go in here. But there's a lot of wheel manipulation in one level that really can confuse you if you don't know what you're doing. So I will guide you through that as I've guided you through the rest of the game, and take care.